Welcome to a new video from Excel Data Analysis Series PQB or Power Query Basics. This video PQB5.5. Why 0.5? Because we are going to use the same example that we used in the previous video PQB05. However, this time we are going to use the Power Query in Power BI instead on Power Query in Excel. So in this video, we're going to see how we can extract sales transactions from an Access database exactly like what we did in the Power Query in Excel. Also, we're going to expand the columns and retrieve more data from the same database. And also, we're going to use the Add Custom column to calculate the sales revenue. We are going to load our query finally into a data model, the same data model that we have exactly in Excel. And also we are going to use close and apply instead of close and load to. We are going to check our data. It's more than 3 million records, but in a data view instead of Power Pivot Editor. And also we're going to add measures using the DAX formulas exactly like the DAX that we are using in Excel. And finally, instead of generating our report on a pivot table, we are going to report our information in an interactive dashboard using a table, map, bar chart, and a slicer. This video will be relatively long, so we are going to put timestamp below the video so you can use it to go to the desired section as quickly as possible. And before jumping into Power BI, we are going to have a look on the Access database and see how our data looks like. In the Access database, we have 3 tables, as you can see here. We have the sales transactions or sales T. We have the product ID inside this table, the city code, the date, quantity, and discount. And also we have 2 lookup tables, as you can see, the location and the product. In the location, you can see the city name and the city code, and there's a relation between the city code in the sales T and the city code in the location table. Also, we have the product table, we have the product ID, the name of the product, the category of the product, and finally the price. And also there's a relation between these 2 tables. The field that used for connection or for relation is the product ID. If you want to follow along while watching the video, or even if you want to practice after watching the video, please go down in the description section. You will find the link. Please use it to download the Excel file, and also use the subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notified with the new videos. So here we go. This is the Power BI desktop. You can download this application from Microsoft website, or you can download it from Microsoft Store. And this is much better because the new updates will go directly to your application. Whatever we are going to use, it will be only on the Power BI desktop. However, if you look here in the screen, this is the screen that prompts whenever you open the Power BI desktop. You will find that it asks you to sign in. When you sign in, you will have an access to the cloud or the BI services, and then you can share your work with your colleagues. And also you can use the free trial. It's for 60 days. If you use the free trial, it will ask you to subscribe with a business email, and then you can start to use the feature of sharing and creating dashboards on the BI services or BI Pro. For us, we are going to use only the Power BI desktop for this video. So we can start from here. We can start to hit the Get Data button, or we can just close this and start to work on the normal window. And this is the normal window. Whenever you open a blank document, you will see a window like this. From Home ribbon, you can go directly to Get Data, and Get Data is the Power Query for the Power BI. So I can just hit Get Data, and I need to find the database, or from database. You can see here there is no Access database in these options, so I need to click more, and I can choose Access database. And then connect. It will open the browser. You can just select your Access database file and then open. It will open a navigator. I have only 3 tables: location, product, and sales T. I'm concerned with only sales T. Let me check this box. It will start to preview your data inside this preview window, and you can see here your columns, so you are good to go. So I can just start to load, but usually we use transform data. It is exactly like edit in the Microsoft Excel Power Query. So I'm going to start with transform. It will open the Power Query editor. It is pretty much similar to the Power Query editor in Microsoft Excel. So on the right hand side, the query settings, the applied steps, I have the source, which is the Access database, then the navigation, the data I selected for the sales T. On the left hand side, I have the query names, and in the middle, I have all the data or preview of the data. The preview of my data, I have the 4 columns coming from the sales T table, from the Access database, product ID, city code, date, quantity, discount, and also I have 2 additional columns created because of the relation between the sales T table and the 2 other tables, the location and the product inside the Access database. So the Access database sent information to Power BI telling that there is a relation that you can use and get additional information from the 2 other tables. So from the location, I want to get the city, so I'm going to open or use the expand button. It will open this small window. Let's uncheck or unselect use original column name as prefix, and also unselect all columns, and I'm going to select only the city. Same for product. I'm going to expand. Let me uncheck select all columns. I'm going to select only product name, category and price, and click on OK. Now I have all the information needed. I have also the price of the product, I have the discount percent, and also I have the quantity. I can use all these 3 information to calculate the sales revenue because I don't have the sales revenue in this table. So I'm going to use the add custom column from the add column ribbon custom column, exactly like what we are doing in Excel Power Query for sure. So I'm going to use this window to start with giving a name to this field. We'll call it sales value, and then going below the new column name to the custom column formula section, so I can start to select my fields and do my formula. I will start with the quantity. I can select and double click. It will jump directly to the left hand side, and then I'm going to multiply by the price, quantity times price, and also I need to multiply by 1 minus discount, open bracket, 1 minus, and then I have the discount. I can either select the insert here or just double click and then close the bracket. Whenever I click on OK, it will create the new column. However, I have an issue, a small issue with the date type, because you can see here it's ABC and 1 to 3, meaning that it is any. The Power Query editor see it as any, and you can check here also from home. You can see the data type is any. I want to change this to currency, let's say. So I'm going to select from the drop down. I can select currency here, and then price 1.2, meaning decimal number. It's okay. Or ABC, 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 meaning text for the 3 columns. For category, product name, and city, that's fine. Discount, I think it's proper to use a percentage. That's fine. I can just click on the icon here and change to percentage. For the quantity and also the city code and product ID, I need all of them to be whole number. I can just go to a home ribbon, and from data type I will change decimal number to whole number. I can change the date and time here to only a date. You can see here date and time. I will change only to date, and this is fine. All my data types is fine. I am good to go. I can load this to the data model. I'm going to use close and apply. It is pretty much similar to close and load to that we have in Microsoft Excel Power Query. It's in the home ribbon on the left hand side. Close and apply. It will load all the information to the data model inside the Power BI. Now the 3 million records already loaded to the data model, and you can notice here on the right hand side you can start to see the fields of the table. You can see the sales T table and the fields that we have inside this query inside the table or inside our query. And you can see here is the report view. We have in Power BI 3 views that you can work with. On the left hand side you have the 3 view here. The first one is the one that with the icon like a chart or something like this. This is the report view. And here in this canvas you can start to use the fields and the visualizations and to start to build your dashboard, start to build your report. You start with page 1 and then you can add page 2, then you can add page 3. It's up to you how many pages in your report. For us, we'll have only 1 page for this report, and we can start change the name of this page. We can call it sales report and enter, exactly like you are giving a name to a sheet or a tab in Microsoft Excel. The other view that we can use is the data view. If you click on the data view, you can see the table. We have only 1 table in this data model because we loaded only 1 table, and you can preview all the data. You can scroll down till the end and you can check the number of rows here downstairs. You can see table sales T and you can see the 3 million records. You can use this view also to add columns. If you go to modeling, you will have an option to add a new column. You can also add a new table and you can add a measure, and this is exactly what we are going to do. What we want to do is to have a summation for the sales value and also for the quantity, and then to calculate the average price. And if you want to add a new measure, you just need to click from calculation here from the modeling tab. You just need to hit the new measure button. It will prompt you inside a formula bar. You can see here is the formula bar, and by default it will give a name to your measure or your calculation. It will call it a measure, and you have to give a meaningful name to your measures. So we are going to change the default and we're going to write something like total sales and then equal, and we want to just have summation for the sales value. We are going to write a simple DAX formula. It is the function sum. It's pretty much similar to the one that we have in Excel. Whenever you start to write, it will give you some assistance. Double click, it will open automatically a bracket and it will give you the options. We have only 1 table. You can see here the sales T is our table, and here is all the option, which is all the fields inside the sales T table. So I'm going to just double click, close the bracket and hit on enter. My measure will be added. You can see in the fields here a new field added called total sales, and you can notice the calculator icon here indicating that this is a calculated measure. I can also add number formatting. When you are selecting your measure here, you can go to the modeling tab and you can select from formatting whatever formatting you want. It's proper to use the currency, so English United States is okay, and 0 decimal places. I want to add a new measure, no problem. Just click on new measure. Again, it will prompt you to the formula bar and it give you again the default and writing measure. So I need to change this again. Let's call this measure total quantity. Let's try to write the same DAX function sum tab, and then I'm going to select sales T again, quantity, and then tab, close the bracket and enter. And let's add some number formatting. Let's add the final one. Again, I'm going to hit the new measure. It will prompt me again to the formula bar and giving me the word measure as a default. Let me change this to average price and then equal. Now I want to divide 2 measures, already calculated measure. So if I want to call the measures, I can start with the open square bracket. It will give me a list of all the measures. I want to start with the total sales. I'm going to select with the arrows and then tab and then over, again square bracket. Now the quantity, tab and enter. The third measure created. You can see here the average price with the calculator sign or calculator icon, also total quantity, and finally the total sales. Let me show you the model view. If you click on the model view, you can see here your table as a small box with all the fields listed below the title of the table or the name of the table. And if I have more than 1 table, I will see more boxes like this. I can use this window to create relations between my tables, exactly like what I'm doing in the Excel data model or what I'm doing in the Access databases. And also from this view, I can do some organization to my table, because you can see that I have a very long list of fields. when I go to the report view, it will not be easy to select the correct fields. So I need my three measures, the average price, total quantity, and sales, but there is some field that I don't need, like the product ID. So I want to hide the product ID from the report view. So I'm going to select it, right click, and I can just hit hide in report view. So I can do so for some other fields like sales code, like the price. I can do also the same for discount. Category I need it. I don't need the quantity or the sales value, because instead of them I'm going to use my measures. I can select all of them, right click, and hide from report view. You can see the icon changed, and when I go to the report view, I will see only the category, city, date, product name, and this three measures. So now let's go back to the report view. You can see a smarter list and shorter list. Before I start building the report, if you look at the date, the hierarchy of the date, you can just click on this arrow. You will see the date hierarchy. It's 4 categories or 4 levels. The higher level is the year, then quarter, month, and day. The benefit of the hierarchy, whenever we put it in a table or in a visual, you can start to drill up and down through this multi-levels. So it's very useful, and the date hierarchy is just created automatically by Power BI whenever it senses that there's a date inside your model. So I need to build another hierarchy in my data. So I have the category and the product name, can find the relation between them, because I have like 4 category, and for each category there is a specific number of product names related to each category. So I can start to build a hierarchy between these two fields. So I can start by selecting the category. I can use these 3 dots and it will open a small menu, and I can select new hierarchy. You can see here a new hierarchy created. By default it's called category hierarchy, and the first level in the hierarchy is the category field. I want to add another field, so I'm going to product name. Again, I'm going to use the 3 dots. It will open the same menu, and then I will select add to hierarchy and category hierarchy. Now you can see a new field added to the category hierarchy, which is product name, and make sure that you have the right order, meaning that the highest category should be on top and then the lower category, and so on and so forth. So category, it's correct to be at the beginning of the hierarchy, then the product name. Now I think everything is ready. I can start to directly build my dashboard or my sales report. I want to start with the sales total. So whenever I select the sales total field and just drag it and drop it inside the canvas, it will create a graph. This is the default. Whenever you drop a value, amount, a numeric value inside the canvas, it will produce this column chart like this. So for me, I want this to be changed to a table. So let me go to the visualization while selecting this visual, and I'm going to select the matrix. Matrix is pretty much similar to the pivot table. Let me resize it and put it down here, because you can see it's very small here. I can just go to this focus mode button, just click on it. It will put the report in the middle. So I have here the total sales for the 3 years. This data is for 3 years. You can see total sales 190 million. Let me start with the new hierarchy created. I will take the category hierarchy and just drop it inside here. You will see it will start with the highest level of the hierarchy, which is the category accessories, bikes, clothing, and components. I want to drill it down. You can see this small plus. It is exactly like the one we have inside the pivot table in Excel. So I'm just going to expand the 4 categories. So that's fantastic. I have the categories, and below every category I have the product names. I can scroll down till the end. I have the subtotals. Let's add also the total quantity. I'll just drop it inside here. It will create a new column with the quantity. And also let's drop the average price. So I have a very good report. Let's go back to the report view. I think we can just do a quick resizing. Now we are ready to continue our report. So now I have also a city. If you look at the city inside the model view, you can see the city column. If you just use the filter to check, you have the city names. I have 7 city names all inside Egypt. If you go back to the report view and you just take the city, just select the city and drop it in the canvas. Can't imagine what Power BI will do automatically. It will create a map. Like you can see here, it's a map for Egypt, and you have the 7 cities here. Here you can see Luxor, and here you can see Sharm el Sheikh, Cairo and Giza, Alexandria, Port Said, and also Ismailia. It's very nice. I can also put something like the sales total. While selecting the map, I can just check the total sales. It will add this dimension inside the map. You can see here the circles is much bigger. The big circle will represent the higher sales volume, and the smaller circles will represent a smaller amount of sales. So now we have a report, a matrix report, and also we have a map. We can add also another graph or another visual. We can again go to the fields and reselect the total sales and drop it inside the empty space. Again, it will create a new chart or a new visual. It's a column chart. I won't change this to clustered bar chart. And now let me add again the category hierarchy. I'll just take it and drop it inside the chart. You can see it's already created the 4 categories on the bar chart. If you want to expand and see all the products, you can use this double arrow here. It's connected double arrow. This is the expand icon. You can just click on it. You will see all the products together here. I can drill up using this drill up button. It's now back. If I want to drill on only one category, I can just click on the turn on drill down. It will have this black circle around the arrow, and whenever I click on any of the categories, it will drill down to the category only. So I selected the bikes, and you can see now it's drilled down to the cargo bikes, mountain bikes, touring bikes, and road bikes. And you will notice also, as you can see here, the table is filtered to bikes only. If I want to go the level up back, the report will come back. I can also filter the chart and the table from the map. If I selected Alexandria, you will see only all the table will change to Alexandria, and the same for chart. You can see the highlighted space is the bikes sold in Alexandria. I can just select again like I'm unchecking the filter. I can also do filtration. I can just select the mountain bike from this report, and all the other charts, all the other visuals will be filtered according to my selection. Another click, it will uncheck the filter or unselect the filter. I can also add a title to this report. So let's add a quick title. From the home ribbon, I can go to text box. It will open a text box. This company called AAA Bikes, and I'm doing a sales report. This is a good title. I can just select all. I can use a bigger font. Actually, let's increase it to 40. That's good. I can use italic. I can also use the center. I can just resize the text box. Let's put it on top. I can also add some background. While selecting the text box, I can go to visualization here. I can choose the background, and I can choose a color like the light gray, like this one. I have here by region or by city, and also I have here by category, and here I can check also the individual products. I need also some controls for this report working with the time, because I have inside this report 3 years together. So the proper visualization for this will be a slicer, and here is the icon for the slicer. You can see it here. I can just select any empty place inside my report and just click on the slicer icon. It will create an empty slicer like this. I can go in the date hierarchy and select only the year, the slicer for year created, but it is not very good like this. I want to change the type of this slicer. I can just select the drop down and let me select list. It will create a list with the years, but actually it is in a vertical direction. I want them to be on a horizontal direction because I'm planning to insert this slicer in here in this small empty space. So let's go to the visualization area. Let's select this brush, and we can go directly to general, and from general I can see the orientation of the slicer. I can change to horizontal. It will create these 3 buttons. I can just resize, and now we have the slicer for the 3 years. I can select 2016. The entire report will be filtered for 2016. I can just select bikes, so the map and also the report will be filtered for bikes. So I can see here Alexandria only for bikes, and this report is only for bikes. and also all of them are for 2016. I can just change again this to 2018. Everything will be changed. All the report will be 2018, and so on and so forth. I think it's very nice. I can just close this pane and also this one, and I can also shrink the menus so you can see the entire report together. I think it's very nice and easy and pretty much similar to what we have in the Excel. The big difference is only about how to create the visuals inside Power BI, but what you have in the Power Query is pretty much similar, and also for the data model. So that was all for today. And finally, before leaving you, if you didn't subscribe to the channel, please use the subscribe button to subscribe, and like the video if you like it, and leave me a comment so I can get benefit from your feedback. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.